it's not because they came back that you have to accept it. Sometimes we are more afraid of being alone than being with the wrong person. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. As per usual, you can just grab something to drink. This is a sloth. This is my hot water bottle that is gonna be my guest tonight. And this is the second video on the series about breakup. So it's been 2 months now, and I previously decided to make a story, like to make it a series. I thought it was gonna be really helpful to just embark you guys on this journey with me about how I deal with it. And I think breakups are so different for everyone, and sometimes you feel like you're never gonna get out of it. And I think sometimes it can be really comforting for you to see that other people can go through it, and it reaffirms that you too can do it. That was the thought I had when it comes to everything, when it comes to all of this, basically. So it's been 2 months, but actually I didn't really know if I had to make this video. I didn't even know if I wanted to continue this video because I went no contact with my ex, and they came back into my life not even a week ago. They sent me a message and they told me um they want to keep trying after 2 months of no contact, of zero contact. So at first I was like, this series doesn't even have a reason to exist anymore. And then I thought, but maybe that can really help people too, because sometimes you have this idea about how you picture your breakup, how you picture your new relationship with your ex-partner, and then, well, life happens and things don't really go according to plan, and that's fine too. You can't control anything outside of your control anyways. So I was like, okay, but this happens, you know. I don't know what I'm feeling. I hadn't even really processed the breakup, to be completely honest. Um, so yeah, I wanted to share this story with you guys. So before they sent me a message, I was, you know, feeling all the feels. As I was saying in the previous video of this series, healing is not linear. It's just coming, it comes in waves, basically. So sometimes you're gonna feel like you're fine, that you're gonna be able to live without this person, and then other days come and you're like, oh my god, how can I even manage this, you know, they're not there. And when I love passionately. So I went through phases where I was like, I literally feel like I'm becoming crazy. I think about you every day. I dream about you every day. I feel like everything reminds me of you. And at this point, I don't even know if what I see are signs, or if what I see are just, you know, physical manifestations of what's inside my head, you know. Or even a test, you know. Sometimes life can be about tests, like to make sure you're not going to repeat the same mistakes and all that jazz. So I went through this phase where for a solid 2 weeks I felt like I was literally losing it. And then um also, I think the worst of it all is just the dreams, you know. We were really connected, so I would just keep dreaming about them. And I can also control my dreams, so I would just make sure I would hug them. I would just smell that their other, you know. Um, so yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do, to be honest. This is someone I really deeply love and I have true respect for. But at the same time, I mean, when you break up with someone, there is a reason for it, you know. Two perfectly happy people never break up out of the blue. It has to have a reason, you know. So I'm like, even though I want to give it a second chance, we really have to talk about what didn't work last time, and just try to learn about each other's expectations, and just like pull all of our cards on the table and be like, okay, this didn't work for me back in the days, it worked. And I'd say I'm not against getting back with an ex. I think it truly can work. I just think you need to be completely honest, completely open and truthful about what it is that you truly want out of the relationship, and realize that if your wants, your needs, and your partners don't match, this is okay. Um, but I think sometimes when when you're with someone and you guys break up, you're not together for a few months. I think it can really shed light on things that you could have done better, or things that like you can learn how to see and notice your blind spots. You know. So for example, I thought a lot about them, and I think sometimes in relationships, I mean, especially in this one, I can be a little too perfectionist, you know. And this came up when I was listening to a podcast, and I thought, well, it might not have been that easy to be on his shoes, you know, because I know sometimes I can be hard on the people I love most, because I'm just hard on myself, you know. So sometimes uh, this is something I do and I'm aware of it. And I try to put myself on his shoes. And I think that's where real growth can come, whether you guys want to stay together or not, or whether you even want to, you know. Just taking this time apart to really like let things sink in, and also, yeah, let the lessons come up to the surface. And as I was saying earlier, just learn how to see and how to acknowledge your blind spots. And I think this is where true growth can happen, because this is when you're going to be able to put yourself in the other person's shoes, you know. You're going to try to see what their perspective on this can be, and how they might have felt about this matter on, or even, you know, sometimes you're really like so deeply mad at someone, and you're so mad, you're so trapped into your own world and your own madness and your own anger, that you can't even see what's what's around you, you know. So I think sometimes that can be great to take some space and and zoom out and be like, okay, I felt like this, like, you know, when you start thinking, how can they do this to me? I did this to them, I did this to them. This is something you can't recover from, you know. And I think true growth happens when you're like, okay, well, I felt that and I thought this about the situation, which is totally fine. My feelings are valid, but what was their perspective on it, you know, considering their background, how they grew up, their education, the country they were born in, the culture, all that jazz, you know, and truly put yourself into their shoes. And then you can see your blind spots, you know. Or personally, it happens a lot when I listen to podcasts, you know. I consume podcasts. It happens especially when I'm either journaling or listening to podcasts when while I'm working. And this is kind of this moment when you're like, okay, aha moment. I didn't know that, or I didn't think about that this way. And this is where you can truly like, you can learn a lot about yourself. You can learn a lot about what you did wrong. And this is really gonna be time for you to ego check. because you're gonna be like, oh, that hurts. You're gonna feel the resistance inside of you, that your ego doesn't want to be wrong, that you can't even acknowledge, that you can't even make peace with the fact that you fucked up. But when you learn how to do that, this is where you can be a better you, a better person, a better partner. And yeah, I think that's really important. And just before they sent me a message, I was there. And it's hard, it's like the Dark Souls journey, because no one likes to do that. No one likes to see themselves in the mirror and be like, okay, I fucked up. I fucked up real bad. I did that and I shouldn't have done it. And I did them wrong, whether it was something you said, something you did, something you didn't do, and you said you would do, or something, you got it. And I think it's really hard to just come to terms with that, because yeah, it's beautiful and amazing to say we should all acknowledge we should make peace with our demons, right? And be like, okay, you should learn how to love yourself and all that jazz. But when you do it, you feel so much resistance and you feel so much pain. But once you accept that and you let go, this is truly healing, to sum up all this, I'd say, and let yourself feel your emotions. Don't be afraid of your shadows. They are part of you. And also, where I'm at now, I want to. I told myself yesterday or today, hold your horses. It's easy to fall for promises. It's easy to fall for hypothetical plans. In a point in my life where I want to focus on myself. I want to focus on my career. I want to focus on my goals. I want to nurture myself, and I don't want to fall for promises. If anything, if I have to fall for something, it's going to be for actions. So I'm really cautious with everything. And as I was saying to you guys earlier, you never break up with somebody out of the blue. So either way, we're going to have a discussion, like to check a checkup. But yeah, it's not because they came back that you have to accept it. Sometimes we are more afraid of being alone than being with the wrong person. And I'm not saying that they're the wrong person for me, but when I received a message, I tried not to let myself drown in the emotions. I was like, this is normal. You're feeling a lot. This is fine. But don't mistake that for love. Don't mistake that for you want to get back with them. Just give yourself time. So I'm in this phase where I have a lot going on between work, studies, and all that jazz. And I don't want to bring too much things on my plate, so I'm not rushing to think about it, to make up my mind about it. It's gonna happen when it has to happen, and we're gonna see if I decide to keep going with this series. But yeah, sometimes you think you really ready to heal, and things like that happen, and you just feel lost. You don't really know what to think. You don't really know what to do. And this is fine, it's okay. I think often we demonize being lost and not knowing where to go, not knowing what to do. But I think that's powerful. I think from there can growth truly happen, and you can birth something new. So I'm not worried. I'm gonna get clear. My ideas are gonna get clearer. It's just I don't want to rush anything now. It feels weird, especially after going no contact for 2 months, but it's fine, it happens. So thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for watching. That was a rambling video. I just wanted to let you guys know that sometimes, yeah, you think you're gonna be healing like you had planned, and sometimes it's just not happening, you know. Sometimes I don't know if the universe tests you, or if you're meant to be with someone and that's why you guys can't be apart. I have absolutely no clue. But sometimes you know you're at the crossroads in your life, you know you're gonna be you're gonna have to make a decision, you know, and this decision can change a lot of things. So whenever you feel something strong, never ever take action on it, because your emotions pass. Give yourself time to think. You have the right to give yourself time to think. Let yourself just take time. Whatever the decision might be, whatever you might decide, you know, just give yourself some time. Yeah, thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you on my next one. Bye.